Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. The goal of this video will be to try to make one good front right fender out of this one and this one. This is the one that was on our truck. That's the one that came on the parts truck that we got recently. So getting right to the chase, I think our fender is better than the one that came on the parts truck. But we have some serious issues going on here. This is the biggest one. I showed you this in the last video. This welding that somebody did, just incredible. There's a random hole there. I didn't even notice this until now, but somebody's folded over a piece of sheet metal and screwed it to the fender. We got a couple of bolts there. We got a cracking piece of metal there. This flange along the bottom of the fender is actually pretty darn good, except for a couple of cracks here and there. Especially when you look at this parts fender, you can see that there's no lip there at all. It doesn't look like rust to me. Maybe it started out as rust and then somebody tried to weld it, or somebody just, you know, ripped it out of there. But there should be another about that much on the bottom of the fender here that is missing. Coming back to ours, we got a big sheet metal patch right here with a bunch of rivets in the flange, and then also this is a good shot of it here on the outside edge, all the rivets. This panel here is pretty good, the top is pretty good, and then we come over here and this part is just horrible. This part over here is just like literally paper thin. Got a big crack there that we got to fix somehow. And then of course this, you know, from, gosh, I don't know, maybe here down is completely unusable. There's a big crack there with another rivet. So just like before I started the work on that last fender, I'm honestly not sure if I'm gonna be able to pull this off. But what I'm gonna do first is start with this. My plan of attack is to grind all this nastiness down to the metal, seeing what's left, and then maybe there's some possibility I can save this piece without having to cut it out. Maybe I can fix the seam somehow. I honestly don't know. Or maybe it would be easier just to weld in a new piece. But the first thing I want to try is to grind all this down and see how it looks, and we'll go from there. You got to start somewhere, so this is going to be our step one today. I gotta take my flapper off and put a real grinding wheel on. That's how bad this is. All right, I've been grinding on this for about 20 minutes or so, and I'll just let you have a look around. So I've got the overhead light off and a flashlight on underneath it. You see the light shining through the holes there. I just don't think I can save this. I'm afraid what would happen is I would invest, you know, several hours trying to plug weld all these little holes and grind it back down. And ultimately, I think we would just end up blowing out more and more of the metal, and we'd waste 3 or 4 or 5 hours trying to fix what is already here. So I'm going to cut it out and we're going to get a new piece. And here we are with the piece cut out. And so far I am very happy with this decision. I think that no matter what happens here, we can improve upon this, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's not overcomplicate things. Let's just get some paper, trace out a pattern, and cut it out of steel and see how close we can get. So I'm going to do this a little differently than I did on that last fender, in the sense I'm not going to use an ink pen or any kind of a pen to trace out our piece. I'm just pushing on the edges with my fingers here, and we're making nice creases. You see that? All along here. I'm going to cut this right along the line, and then when I transfer this to new metal, I'm going to add about 1/8 of an inch, just to make sure that we end up with enough metal, and that gives us some room for error. So once I got the template cut out, I taped it back to the fender for the sole purpose of seeing how close it is. So let's look on the inside. So this is basically what I wanted to look at. I wanted to see how close it was to the actual edge. Long story short, it's close enough. But looking at it this way does reinforce the fact that I want to add a little bit to our new piece of metal once we cut it out. And here's the cutout piece, oversized. So I'll do all the resizing and the fine tuning off camera, and because that's going to take me a while, and then I'll bring you guys back when it's time to start welding this in. But I'm liking the direction that we're going on this so far. The other thing I wanted to mention is we're not going to do this entire fender in this video this time like we did the last one, because the video ended up being kind of long. Some people like that, some people didn't. But for my own reasons, I think this will be better on my mental health if we take this fender and break it up into like 3 or 4 parts. So anyway, I'll get started on this and I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, fast forward a little bit. I've got about 6 hours into this patch so far, and I'm only about 25% done with it. You can see I've got it done on this side over here. And this is really difficult work here, I have to be honest. I'm really happy with the way my patch turned out as far as the contour and the shape to it. I got it, I think, as close as I could possibly get it to match the natural contours of the fender. It looks kind of like a benign piece, except for the shape of it. It almost looks flat maybe on the camera, but it is not flat. There's a concave right there, and then there's a high spot there, and then it dips a little bit right there, and then another concave right there. In addition to that, the whole thing kind of goes this way a little bit. Well, at least most of it goes this way. And it also goes this way. Because there was so much bend this way, I had to get the torch out right in here and heat it up and hammer it down so it would curve over a little bit. Of course, it's still really rough right in here, but I hope you can see I got a nice fit there, a nice curve. Very happy with that. I got a pretty good fit with my patch on this side, but over here you can see I ended up with a gap there, and then we've got a huge gap right up there, and I'll show you guys how to fix that, or at least how I fix that when we get to it. All right, here we are a couple hours later, and I stopped right about there before, and I've got this all done, or about 90% done. I still got a little bit of touch-up to do, but it looks really good. The welds are nice and solid, and we're gonna have a good piece of steel in the fender right here. But I promised I was gonna show you guys how I fixed this gap. Now, the gap wasn't quite this large. I just augured it out with an 8-inch drill bit. Started over here and just kind of ran it down there, so it's all the same width. And then I've got a piece of 1/8-inch mild steel stock, but what I'm gonna do is kind of press it into the gap there, and that's going to be the metal that takes up that gap. Okay, the fit is so good that it's just sitting there by itself in place. So now I'm going to start to weld over it. Once we get that first tack in place, then we're home free. I haven't shown you the welding and finishing process on this because it just takes so much time. But because this is such a small area, I'm going to show you the whole thing from start to finish, just so you can see my process. All right, now I've got it tacked in place. You can see I had one blowout up here that we need to fix, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to flip it over, weld the back real good, and then we'll come back to the front and fix that hole and finish up the welding. Now, once it's all welded up, I take the flap disc and I knock down the high spots, and then we hit it with the finer wheel after that. Now, I know I said finer, but I just meant smaller. This is the die grinder with a 80 grit disc on it. I really like this tool because it feels good in my hand, It spins fast and it really removes material quickly. In fact, you have to be careful because you only want to take down the weld. You don't want to take down the base material on either side of the weld. So now I've got all the welds ground down, and I'm going to hit it with the 80 grit dual action sander and kind of go all around in that area just to blend everything in, and that'll show us our highs and our lows. Now I've got it out here in the sunlight, and in this kind of light with this angle and reflection, you can see the lows very clearly. They're just the dark spots there. But the change in elevation from the flat here to the dark is not very much. It doesn't take much to create a dark spot. But the weld seam is all good, and we'll hit these dark spots with a little bit of a body filler, and I mean just a little bit, because these are very, very shallow. So overall, I'm really happy with the way this patch is going. We're almost done. I just have a little bit here and a little bit in the corner, and we're done with this and we can move on. The next thing I'm going to do in this video, and the last thing I'm going to do in this video, we're going to fix this hole. If you guys can't tell, that's about the size of a nickel or so. So what I'm going to do is finish this patch off camera, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we're going to fix that. So I bought myself a kit of different sized round plugs, if you will. These are 18 gauge as well, same gauge as the metal we're working with. And I'm going to see if we can use one of these to patch this nasty hole. I'm going to try to use the step bit first. I'm not sure if this is going to work or if it's going to try to rip the hole worse than it is. But it would be nice if this would work, because then we can get a nearly perfect circle out of this. Yeah, the top side's a little bit high, so that's fine. Now we can manipulate it before we weld it. Get it nice and flush, just like that. All right, I think you guys get the idea. I'm gonna go around the whole thing and grind it down, and I'll be right back with you. And here it is finished. I think it turned out pretty good. I think we'll keep this in our bag of tricks for the future for filling large holes like that. That's a pretty good way to do it. If you remember from a couple of videos ago, I told you we're going to undercoat all the underside of the fenders. So we have the luxury of leaving some welds intentionally for strength. So I just ground them down a little bit, made them a little bit flat, but I left the meat of them on the back just for some added strength along the weld seam. And I did the same thing on our plug here. I ground them down, you know, most of the way, but not all the way. I left some of the meat of the weld there. So we're gonna wrap this one up. Patch turned out really good. Nice to have good solid metal here again without a bunch of holes in it. So we're basically done with this patch and welding up that hole. I think this took me about 10 hours total, maybe 11. So for the next video, we have to fix this. I don't know how I'm gonna fix this, but we'll hopefully figure something out. We gotta fix this. I have an idea for this. We're gonna use the other fender to help us repair that part. And then I got to fix all this nasty riveted sheet metal repair job all in here. But we just got to take this one step at a time and keep moving forward. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time.